Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the San Francisco 49ers. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
And hoping to get rid of that interception bug. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sack, baby! Sack!
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Fielded at about the 28. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Joe Mixon, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
On 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. This one complete to Scott Miller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They're going to look to throw. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 32. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
The 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for third down. They'll look to throw here. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. There are the numbers for Samuel from that game last week. comfortably up over 100 yards when cruising past that number, and 2 touchdowns.
How'd you like to be the D coordinator this week? He watched that game last week, and I know his first thought was, we have to find a way to take him out of the game plan. We cannot let him do that to us.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle it, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson, and it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Fielded at the 20. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. On the crossing route, complete. That's Black. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play.
ready. 60 out low. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Ready.
Mixon with a first down carry. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
2nd and 6. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Curtis Samuel, touchdown number 15 of the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Great corner out there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
5 plays there on that drive, and it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Offense.
Now, those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Watch a slap. Watch a slap. Watch a slap.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
Here we go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
Block 54. All you get is a header.
Into the hands of Pettis. It's a jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully.
Go ahead.
Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise, he can really decimate it.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
He's got the first down and more past midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to do. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vita Vea able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And the pressure gets to him again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Taken right around the 44. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility that people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. They'll set up the throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. Whoa, shifty. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 15 of the year and 2nd of the game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Looking to throw. Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Garoppolo again. Open man is Samuel. Complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And it's caught. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. Dante Pettis, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get 1, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Thus far, he's been quite the dual threat. Touchdown on the ground, another through the air. He's just so versatile, isn't he?
He is, and he's exactly what I think we're looking for in the NFL now out of the running back position. Guys who can do everything running it, but also act as receivers. And I don't just mean, the stopgap guys. I don't mean safety valve. I'm talking about big-time parts of it, whether they're going to split out, whether they're going to swing out of the backfield. Sometimes they act like a true wide receiver, and he's having that type of a game in this one.
It'd be interesting to see if he can keep it going both phases. Let's see. Now Joe Mixon, and he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 2nd and 9 now. Throw left side complete. It's Black. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Mike 54. All day. All day.
Here's 2nd and 8. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They're going to look to throw. He's got Evans. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Down right around the 25. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And Gay knocks this one through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Coleman now. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will extend this big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there. Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in the cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. Going right side here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Garoppolo now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Deebo Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers able to get this back to some measure of respectability. Gold able to tack on the extra point. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And really a lot of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the number one, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point. Well, that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Back now here in Santa Clara. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Garoppolo. That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Garoppolo now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Here we go.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Got his target, Samuel. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 27-yard line. Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now they'll run it on the toss. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll set up a throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
Hey, you're on an audience over there.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Here we go.
The Niners on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been terrific so far. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
On second down now, Nixon pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning.
Double dog, double dog.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Nixon. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Up at the 29 now. They'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard.
Wait.
Garoppolo now. This one complete to Coleman. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
13 yards there and a Niner first.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Here we go.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Don't say nothing.
Garoppolo again. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Garoppolo looks to throw. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo completes it to Samuel. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. One final try now for Garoppolo. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone. As time has run out on this ball game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Tampa Bay, a win.